Шановні колеги, ми продовжуємо роботу. Тема наступної події.
The topic of the next event, new rules for the election of the Public Council of the Ministry of Healthcare of Ukraine, e-democracy in practice. Our guests are Lesya Litvinova, member of the initiative group, Volodymyr Flonts, secretary of the initiative group, and Oksana Sukhorukova, head of the initiative group. The first one is Lesya. Good afternoon, I'm Lesya Litvinova. For the last few years, I've been working with medical issues every day, and that is because of help us, we cannot cope. Every second phone call is, you helped one, how will you help others? In the state, there's a need to implement systemic changes. We believe that when this country is in such a situation, everyone has to do at least something minimum. I don't know a single person who wouldn't be involved with some medical issues. I don't know a single person who would be able to find 5, 10, 15 minutes to help select those who will be fighting for their interests, those who are interested in systemic changes. Talking about, Volodya will talk about the technical part. This is just like a revolution. Thank you. We are trying to change the rules and approaches to creating the public councils. Instead of voting in the lobby when only the candidates have the right to vote for candidates, it's like if we elect people to the Verkhovna Rada, the citizens wouldn't have the right to vote, but only the registered candidates. To vote for every public council is impossible. It's neither technically nor financially is possible, and we found the only way out in this situation, which will take not more than 15 minutes, and that is internet voting. This platform, this way of voting, was elected for the Public Council of National Anti-Corruption Bureau, and for the candidates will have a special website, and on the day of voting, anyone would be able to enter it to look at the data of the candidate, of the data of the public organization, whether it was very active. Maybe these were some organizations registered in a month or two. All know that the biggest question to internet voting is the question of calculating, and we tried to eliminate this problem. And the main thing is the principle of open protocol. After you vote, you will be able to find your vote in the database. It's open. You could be sure that during the day this vote will not be changed or will not disappear. As soon as the voting finishes, all the protocol will be open, and you will see your vote and the votes of other citizens. You will be able to calculate the results. You shouldn't be trusting some administrator of the website who can manipulate, but you can make sure how the votes were calculated. And I believe that this is a key issue. This principle of voting has positively has been used during 3 types of voting for the Council of Anti-Corruption Bureau. The Ministry of Environment has taken that also, and the Public Council was formed with many young people, activists who previously could not get into the Public Council. And I believe that same way we will elect the Public Council, where there will be young people, the Public Council of the Ministry of Healthcare. You will be able to see who these people are. You will understand why they go there, and by them you will be able to communicate with the ministry so that your problems and your views are taken into account. Thank you. Oksana Sukhorukova. Good afternoon, Oksana Sukhorukova. During the recent times, we saw the creation of public councils at different ministries. First was the Ministry of Social Policy. I can say that the public council is made there manually, and the citizens of Ukraine do not have any influence on that. Then we had the Ministry of Temporary Occupied Territories, the public itself, which was created to promote their people. They started fighting near the Ministry of Defense. Today, the public councils are not an effective instrument, even though if it operates, it has enough powers to promote changes in the country. The fact what we are suggesting is a principle in new approach. We want the public councils to defend the rights of the citizens of Ukraine and help promoting reforms so that they are not just the puppets, like it was in the state service of veterans when the public funds were distributed. Our objective is different. It's to create such public councils which would defend your interests. And it will depend on you whether we will have such public councils. 15 minutes. If every 10th person participates and votes, then it will be impossible to falsify. We will get absolutely different public council. I call upon everyone to participate in the voting. Thank you.
Please. So I would like to add, for those who are going to vote and for those who won't vote, next time you will say that nothing depends on me in this country. Please remind to yourself whether you used your chance to do it. Do you have questions? Please introduce yourself first. Andrei Miguel, Institute of Liberalism. You proposed the wonderful mechanisms of selection, but many people do not understand how these councils work and how to introduce experts there. Do you plan some practical steps? And they are created under some institutions, so maybe the quality should go up and the content they produce. Recently, on Facebook pages, we provide information about public councils and their responsibilities. These public councils, they are throughout the country at each body of executive power. They are at the grassroots level, so we plan to provide information about the activity of the public councils, to tell about their responsibilities and the influence on executive power, not only central power, but also local power. And we envisage the events. We will go to the east and we will tell communities how these public councils work, what is e-governance, and in what way one can use this public council at the local level and at the central level, how it can be done. So it depends on activists and maybe the media, how this information be brought to the public. Do you have other questions? Please. Good afternoon. Hanna, tell us, please. There are a lot of questions that public organizations that represent interests of pharmaceutical companies, these pharmaceutical plants will vote for them. And technically, whether these votes will influence it, if 300 or 400 people will vote for this result, I will answer. I hope that our society will be active, and when on the site there will be lists of organizations that applied, so called, for example, Masha, Natasha, Oksana, or anyone else, they should think whom they want to see on this council. For example, Tabletочки Foundation, if, for example, a child suffers from oncology, or some company no one knows, and the administrative resource always existed, and it will always exist. And we can only hope that people will participate and they will prevent this administrative resource from doing this. So we are interested in this, and we hope that each of you will make steps. So to prevent the situation when there is election and there is no choice, the period of application continue up until 28th of March. Please apply. In order that people had choice, and not only some unknown companies who will apply, but there should be quality organizations that really work every day to help people. Do you have other questions? Please ask. No questions. This is the end of press briefing. Goodbye.
Шановні колеги, наступна подія рівно о 12:00.